My wonderful, beautiful, amazing Taurus. I'm Gabriella from Gabriella's Vampire Tarot. For today, I'm going to be doing a general love reading of 5 card spread. But before I do that, I want to offer these 12 red roses as a token of my love and appreciation for you all for supporting me. I love you guys so very much, and thank you so much for joining me today. I love you guys. So, this 5 card love reading includes where the first card represents you, the second, the other person, the third, the relationship, the fourth, the past, the fifth, the future. Then I'm going to draw a Vampire Oracle for you, and then a Favole card, and then one from the French deck of Le Tarot Interdit Vampiria. But let's get started with card number 1, which is you. 8 of Skulls. I'm seeing you putting in a lot of hard work, based off of, any kind of direction, but I'm getting both the ones who are single and the ones who are in a relationship in this reading. Now, especially for the ones who are in a relationship, it looks like that you're the one that's also contributing a lot of hard work, and you're also putting in your side of the effort, regarding this connection between you and the other person who are, or your companion or spouse who you're currently with. But I think that's very important because the thing is marriage and relationships, from what I've witnessed over my vampiric years, are, incredibly difficult on so many, levels. But the fact is as you keep, working at it, and just, just don't give up on what you want, wish, dream, and desire. Of course, that's really crucial for any kind of relationship, for that matter. And if you're kind of, dealing with maybe some bumps in the road, maybe some conflicts or something. This is what I also see, based off of the hard work, is that, you probably have to put in a little bit more extra hard work based off of, your whole actions and stuff like that. But I just see you actually doing an incredible job, based off of the 8 of Pentacles. But for the ones who are single, it's like the 8 of Pentacles is more or less, hard work, maybe you're busy with your own goals, endeavors, and stuff like that. But you could also be, putting in a lot of hard work and effort on, it's heading towards the love goal of maybe, doing, a lot of courtship phases, dating, maybe, you're, working on a lot of self-development and self-improvement. Maybe you're trying to market yourself, so the other person, whoever you have your eyes on, or anybody out there, that thinks, oh yeah, Taurus is actually, an interesting person and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of getting from this card. Admirable City. I love it. Well, let's see who the other person is or could be. Daughter of Grails. Okay, this is an interesting combination because, the Page of Cups is an idea child. It's Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Maybe you're courting, or maybe you're, with your current spouse is currently with the Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But what I'm actually getting here, it's a bit of an, like an illusion, but also a daydream. Because the fact is, what I see you actually doing is, you're trying to make this daydream work. Unless this doesn't resonate with you, of course, then forget about this reading. But if it does, this is something that I do see in this reading is, it's like a lot of humans, they try to base relationships and their ideas of love, based off of fiction literature, for that matter, or stuff like that, or maybe even romantic or erotic literature, where you pretty much just think, oh wow, I would love to have somebody like that. That man or woman is pretty intriguing to me. The thing is about, daydreams is it's entertainment. It's mostly based off of entertainment. But, if you ever do find yourself in a situation that does resemble or is close enough to a dream, maybe, that's what you're hoping to achieve sometime. And maybe that's why, you're putting a lot of time and effort into this relationship because, well, maybe you do have this sort of vision or this idea, that you hope to meet that Mr. or Mrs. Right. And then everything just works out according to your own ideas and beliefs and stuff like that as well. But you could also currently be with, somebody who's just very, dreamy themselves. Maybe this person also has certain daydreams, and maybe you're trying to, work hard at it and stuff like that. But either way, that's kind of what I'm getting from this combination. Let's see what the relationship could be or is. Oof, Death. One of the cards I pulled for the vampire, but this is also a rebirthing card. Okay, Death is pretty much like you're going through this rebirthing card. And that's why, when I mentioned, at first, if you're dealing with conflicts and stuff like that, maybe some setbacks or bumps in the roads, maybe you're trying to put in a lot of hard work and effort regarding this potential conflict, that you could be dealing with, your current spouse at the moment. Yeah, I understand, completely, it's like there's no such thing as the perfect relationship, and deep, down, it's, a lot of relationships and marriages are hard work, and that's why I see you actually putting in, all the time and effort from your side and stuff like that. I mean, and maybe you're just kind of thinking, well, this person is not really putting much effort into this relationship because I feel like I'm doing this and that more, and I just don't feel, that it's fair in this relationship. Or you could also be, dealing with a Scorpio as well. That's an interesting combination. Two fixed signs of Taurus and Scorpio. But yeah, for the single ones, it also looks like that you're going to be having a rebirthing moment coming up soon. And again, I can't say when, where, or how, because my tarot readings have no time frames on them. But it could also be that you're, yeah, certainly going to be entering into a new courtship phase. Well, I want to wish you all the best of luck. I mean, whichever direction you're going to be heading towards, I want to wish you all the best of luck on this relationship, wherever you're going to be heading towards. But let's look at what the past has. Daughter of Schools, Page of Pentacles. Okay, this is another one of your beautiful cards. And this is actually very, very interesting. Because, in your current position, you're doing a lot of hard work. You're probably doing a lot of self-development, doing a lot of marketing strategies for yourself. Because in the past, you already kind of went out on the hunt. You pretty much, went on this love journey. And maybe, that's how you pretty much found this person, is by putting in time and effort, and probably, joining social activities, attending courtship dates, phases, whatever it is that humans do in modern times and stuff like that, because you already, took the initiative. You went out into this world, so that's what I mostly saw, and that's why, maybe you still haven't found Mr. or Mrs. Right yet, and that's why you're still doing a lot of hard work. Or even if you're currently in a long-lasting, beautiful, committed relationship, or even just in a fresh new relationship, it still looks like that you're the one that took initiative. Admirable. I just think that's important on so many levels, is that you have to put time and effort on getting whatever you want, because it doesn't automatically just fall into your lap like that. The future, Two of Grails. So for the ones who are single, that's what I see as potential partnerships. Maybe it is with a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, but either way, I do see a beautiful, love, relationship, being created, or, just, growing, because you're doing a lot of hard work. You're pretty much, growing into this new beautiful phase of this courtship, and that's why you're having this, probably like maybe a makeover in the form of rebirthing and stuff like that, because you already, put into time and effort and stuff like that. Or you could even have Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, placements in your star chart. But either way, that's kind of what I see for the single ones. And for the ones who are currently in a relationship, and maybe it's a bit on the wobbly side, maybe a little bit, uneasy at the moment, but I do see that everything is just going to work out between you and the other person in the end. Love it. Beautiful. Because Oracle wants to say, call for help, reach out, need for backup, and admit your needs. So, yeah, the crux of this message is that, if you're dealing with any kind of relationship conflicts, problems, or something, it's important to kind of express yourself, just to kind of reach out, maybe, do some couples counseling, maybe ask other people what they would do, maybe your friends, your neighbors, your family, whoever that you trust the most, at least, to actually, get you through this, complicated, situation you're currently in. But also for the ones who are single, it's always important to even ask, whoever you trust the most. Doesn't even have to be your friends or family for that moment, but whoever you feel, most comfortable with, to see how did you find, your husband or wife and stuff like that, I mean, that's just, pretty much just, an interesting but also very, respectful and also responsible question to be asking, to say, how did you actually find, your current spouse, who you're with and stuff like that. And they could say, oh yeah, I remember when he or she and I, blah, 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 we did this and that and stuff like that. And then, then that's pretty much, where you can more or less also, gather all of your ideas and resources from as well. Because let's see what Favole has. The Ace of Flowers, the Ace of Pentacles, and new beginnings. Wow, this could be maybe taking place in the fall time, or maybe even, summertime, whatever, whichever, direction you're heading towards and stuff like that. But again, I can't say when, where, how, but that's what I see is this Ace of Pentacles in the sense of a new beginning, and this is going to be this grand new beginning, because you're the one who is probably, doing a lot of research. You're probably asking people for help. You're probably, doing a lot of makeovers and stuff like that within yourself. And eventually, you'll find whoever is out there that pretty much is, will find you incredibly intriguing. Okay. Well, let's see what the French Tarot deck has. Ah, 6. 10 de miroir. 6 of mirrors, also known as the 6 of cups. Nostalgia city taking place in the future. Okay, so, for the ones who are probably, dealing with any kind of complicated relationships right now, I do see everything is going to work out between you and your spouse in the future. But also, with this, Ace of Pentacles, it's also, some form of new beginning, whatever it may be. But also for the ones who are, heading out and eventually meeting that Mr. and Mrs. Right in your life and stuff like that, I do see that you're going to be having a lot of, nostalgia memories. You're going to be having a lot of reminiscing moments and stuff like that. So that's what the 6 of Cups is all about. It's looking at the past and thinking, I'm so glad I made the right decision in this life, that I chose. So, well, sad but true, I'm going to have to leave it at this for now, but if this reading resonated for my beautiful, amazing Tauruses, I want to thank you so much for joining me, and please feel free to join and subscribe to this channel. But otherwise, in a few days, I'm going back to general readings, so for now I'm just doing general and love, but I'm also open for personal readings. All you have to do is subscribe to this channel and post in the little discussion box that you want a personal reading from me, and I'll respond to you with my email. But other than that, thank you so much for joining me. I love you guys so very much.